So I'll bless his holy name, cause his promises remain forever and ever. Don't make nobody trick you. Blessings flowing over here like a fountain. Don't make nobody trick you. No. Hands up to the sky, as the Father pours enough to blessing and nothing can hold it back. What is for me? Oh yes, it will be.
All right, everybody, so welcome back. So we do have a book for you right now that we are going to be discussing. It's called The Anthropology of Integration, and it is written by Father Mark Georges. He is the author, and he is here with us this morning. Father, thank you very much for coming this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Well, Father, let's get right into it. Anthropology of Integration, which seeks to unpack in a new way the richness of the simple proposition that the human is a unity of body and soul.
Yes, a lot of big words there.
You're telling me?
Yes, a lot of big words there. But behind it is a very simple idea, which is that we need a new approach for teaching character, a new approach for raising the next generation in order to address a lot of these social ills. It's all the challenges that we are facing here in Trinidad and Tobago and also around the world. As a priest, for example, we're dealing with the young people, that one of the big challenges is that you cannot tell them anything. They want to see things for themselves. We're accustomed to, just take orders. A lot of people my age told me, well, in my home, my dad, he would just, say what you do and everybody obeyed.
Yes.
But now young people want to see things for themselves. So that is a huge challenge. Also, that young people today, there's a lot of confusion, especially, I'm not sure if this is the right word, prejudices.
Yes.
There's white against black, and then rich, poor, conservative, liberal, male, female. We have all of these sort of polarized world right now. Mm-hmm. And it's very confusing for young people to navigate all of this. And then also you find that in this busyness of life, we're getting ahead and progress and also trying to fix all these issues, we have lost sight of some of the fundamental values that actually unite us, that keep us together. When I came into the studio this morning, you were playing The Caribbean Man, which is a song about unity.
Yes.
And I said, this augurs well for this interview. It's a good sign. That kind of perked me up a bit, hearing that song, because I felt like, this is what it's all about. We want people to work together. But to do that, we need some fundamental values which are part of who we are as human beings. So that's the fancy word, the dignity there.
Yes.
And so these are real challenges. We kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater in our quest at times for progress and our quest for just fixing things. And we need to bring these things back. And so this is the thing is that we need a new approach to passing on character that is sort of addresses these issues and also as a consequence social ills that come from the crime and the disenchantment and all these other things that we experience in our country and in the world today.
Yeah. Let's look a little bit at the style that you would have used in writing this book so that it is palatable to all of its readers.
Yes. So that was very important. So the book is addressed to, it says there, Handbook for Parents, Teachers, Educators. Well, that basically means everybody.
Yeah.
So basically, in a way, we're all concerned and we're all involved in passing on good character to the next generation. So that this was very, very important for me to try to really break things down. So in the book, what I try to do is to make it as though like it's a conversation.
Yes.
With somebody is in dialogue with me. So that I am not imposing. It's not a book that tells you, this is the truth. It says, think about this. And it starts to kind of, there's a whole structure to it. I think that there was I broke it down. You can say there's sort of like 4 main ideas, and there were some posters I prepared. I'm not sure you may have them. Looking at, one really important idea, which is that, that what is good for us is actually natural to us. If we look at the world around us, the creatures, the animals, dogs, they all know what they need to do. So they know what they need to eat. They know what habitat to look for. They know how to protect themselves. Why is it that when we come to the human person, we don't seem to get it right? We don't know what is good for us.
We seem to be lost.
We seem to be lost. So the book tries now to say, and this is how we appeal to everyone, to say that no, it is natural. So you don't need to be an expert to understand this book. In fact, what you need to flourish as a human person is inside. It's already there inside of you. We need to just know how to bring that out. So whereas animals, they follow their instinct.
Yes.
But for us, we come to know what is good for us in a human way. And that's the fancy word integration. So we must engage every aspect of our being. And that is then, that's the fancy word integration. So the book then, first of all, tries to present that idea to, to say, listen, to convince you, that you know what is good. You don't always have to sort of appeal to a group or sort of appeal to, what's a fancy word again, identity politics. You don't have to think that it's always an expert has to tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
And that has always been, it's always been like that in human history. Think about, the juridical system. Often jury duty, they pick, the average person to go and to judge the hard cases.
Yes.
And why? Because everybody knows what is good. So that is how we try to break it down and make it simple. It's first of all, just to try to get the readers to believe in themselves and unlock that, what we call the inclinations that can lead you to, to understand what is truly good for yourself and to believe that and live by it.
Yeah. A book like this is especially important given the challenges of crime and lawlessness facing our society.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to pass on the character. We want each person to reach that place where they say, I want to live by these values. But first we must know them.
Right.
So this is where the importance of the idea of the education of the whole person comes in. That access to these values we're talking about. So it's by integration, which means that we understand that there are different aspects of our being. There's a biological side, there's an emotional side, and then there's our spiritual. Our biology sometimes takes up in one direction because we might be frustrated or anxious, stressed, emotions too, relation issues within. So there's a challenge of disintegration, which is often the cause of persons feeling that they're giving into anger, or sometimes they're giving into the addictions, coping mechanisms, which sometimes are very unhealthy. Now, but these drives that we may have, which which sometimes are excesses, there's an element of, we can say, rationality. That's another big word in there that speaks of something that is good. Let's take an example. A person might be very hungry, or even have a tendency to overeat.
Right.
But that drive to eat has a reason, which is that we to get food, which is to help us to be healthy, and then that healthy is so that we can do things,
yes.
We can work ultimately, and that leads us to understand the value of life. So that, strangely enough, even a passion that sometimes could be excessive and even harmful can lead us to understand, oh no, life is important, and not just my life. Now I want to also care for the life of others, and I want to contribute. So I can't just be addicted to anything. I need to rein that in. I can't just be sometimes over scared about things. I have to get out and work. So then we can come to understand fundamental values.
Yes.
And it's inside of us. So we're speaking now to each and every human being.
Yes. The book is not a religious text.
No, the book is not a religious text. So that is actually a very, very important idea. It's hard for me to convince people of that, especially when I'm dressed like this. Maybe I should have put on some sports clothes, or something to come here this morning to convince people of it. It's not any kind of a divine inspiration or anything I had to write this book. Okay, it's fruit of many years helping young people, speaking with young people, and trying to bring out the best in them. So it speaks then about universal values. That was something which I felt very, very important. We spoke about trying to address social ills.
Yeah.
And to address social ills, we need everybody on board. And so we need to go back to something that unites us, which is our shared humanity. So, and this book also I did it, you may see the foreword says Christine de Marcellus Volmer.
Yes.
She has a program which is called Alive to the World, which is actually rolls out a program for teaching, passing on character. It's all structured at different levels, and it begins with small children, so that this book was also in some way was meant to support this kind of work, where it is for everyone, whether you are white, black, whatever read, whatever religion. And the book, in fact, does that because there is an organization in Trinidad using Alive to the World that is already in 118 schools, and so that's showing that yes, it's really that this is really for everyone.
Yes.
And these ideas are already in programs in Trinidad, and are doing work with persons of all different backgrounds and also all over the world through the work of Christine Volmer.
Yeah. So the book is going to be launched on Saturday, 9th November.
Yes, that's just a few days away. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where? Venue and what time?
It will be at Murphy Clark, which is 15 Wainwright Street in St. Clair. Most people know that intersection in St. Clair, where if you turn left, you go to Federation Park, and if you turn right, it kind of takes you to the Saddle Road, and then right in front of you is Ellerslie.
Yeah.
Is that intersection most people know. So it's on that corner,
right,
basically, and that is where it will be held. There's
Yeah.
a nice auditorium there. We hope to have a nice program. It's not just me talking. We have, as I said, the Caribbean Man. They'll be on pan interpretation. We'll have Christine Volmer sent in a video. We'll have also Communities Alive president. We just spoke about Communities Alive, implementing character building to persons of all creeds and background. We'll have someone from there speaking as well.
Yeah. And after the launch, how soon can people even get a copy of their book on that day?
Yes, of course.
And I'm sure Father will sign it for you.
Yes, I know. That's someone threatened me. Says, Father, everybody who comes, you have to do a individual and specialized dedication for them. I said, well, I'll probably be there all night, all evening if I do that. Let's see how it works out. But yes, we will have copies available at the launch.
Yes.
Then there is the Communities Alive that, as I spoke about, that I'm involved in. On their website, there's a little shop to buy this book. Is on this QR code here. It's possible to see. But you can go to Communities Alive. You could just Google that and the shop. And then also it's available on Amazon.
All right.
Amazon US, Amazon UK. The publishing house, which is Gracewing, has links with Amazon Canada and Amazon India. So it's on all these speaking countries.
What do you hope is going to be the biggest takeaway for the person reading the book?
Well, very good question. The person who is reading this book, I hope that they will help them to become more in touch with themselves.
Right.
In the sense, what we were speaking about, we have a tendency to want to outsource our decision making. We want to just outsource to experts. That was a bit what we spoke about earlier.
Yes.
Where we say that we want to be part of like a group, and that group makes that decision. So we prefer to do that because we know somewhere we don't have to be responsible, personally responsible. So that through reading this book, my hope is that a person would be in touch with themselves, have more confidence in those values which they can naturally access through those natural inclinations. We give one example earlier.
Yes.
And to really live by those and believe that these values, this is the way for me to be truly happy. And then they take really control of their lives and of their decision making, saying, I want to live, this is the kind of person I want to be. I want to live, value life. I love family life. I want to contribute. I want to be a good person. I want to respect the others. And so that I feel is so important, so important in the world today. Otherwise, I feel that we are put on touch by the media. The media is very sophisticated in trying to tell us that this is what you need to do. But what we really need to do, the first and most important, is inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that then leads us to acquire confidence in what God has put in us, and to then stand by these things and not to budge. And so then we have a chance. We'll have a chance with all the things that are pushing at us to navigate to what we spoke about earlier, the challenges that young people face. They can navigate these challenges when they are in touch with fundamental values that God Himself has placed in them. That's our first point of reference.
Yeah. Father Mark Georges, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Again, the book is going to be launched on Saturday, 9th November. Father, give us the venue and time again.
Venue, it's at Murphy Clark, 15 Wainwright Street, St. Clair.
Yes.
It will be at 4:30 starts at 4:30, ends at 6, but there'll be time still for mingling around. Then, as I mentioned, books will be available there.
Yes.
And
Father is coming with his pen.
I will come with my pen. I'll maybe have to try to figure out how to write with two hands at the same time, something like that.
Yeah. But Father, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and we wish you all the best with this book, and hopefully it gets into in the homes and even the classrooms of a number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
This is the hope.
Yeah?
This is the hope.
Yes. So, Father, all the best, and bye for now.
Okay, Marlon, thanks. It was a pleasure.
Of course. We are going to a very short break, everybody. We're coming back.
To the sky, as the Father pours enough to blessing, and nothing can hold it back. What is for me? Oh yes, it will be. Me nah go make them steal my joy, steal my joy, steal my joy.